There's a reason most people don't fail at their dreams. They fail before they even allow themselves to dream. Because dreaming, real dreaming, does something dangerous. It names what you want, and the moment you name it, you become responsible for it. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam said, "You have to dream before your dreams can come true." This isn't a quote about fantasy. It's a quote about how reality begins inside a human being. Not with results, not with luck, but with a decision to imagine a future you're not yet qualified for, and then move toward it anyway. Tonight, we'll unpack this sentence with a motivational psychology lens for real life. Why dreaming is the first act of courage, why it feels risky, and why the people who make it are often just the people who refuse to live without a vision. A dream is not a feeling. A dream is direction. Most lives are led by default, by bills, by habits, by other people's expectations, by whatever is urgent. A dream interrupts that. It says, "I choose where I'm going." That's leadership, before you have followers. Leadership of your attention, leadership of your time, leadership of your identity. Because once you decide what you're building, your brain starts filtering reality differently. You begin to notice opportunities that used to be invisible. You begin to see mentors where you used to see strangers. You begin to interpret obstacles as part of the path instead of proof you should stop. Dreaming is the moment you stop being only a reactor and become a creator. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Dreams are avoided not because they're unrealistic, but because they're revealing. A dream exposes what you care about, and what you care about can be threatened. If you don't dream, you can't be disappointed. If you don't dream, you can't be judged for trying. If you don't dream, you never have to face the gap between who you are and who you could become. So people call it being practical, but often it's emotional self-protection. Kalam's word must matters. You must dream. Not because it's nice, but because without a dream, you remain a passenger in your own life. A fantasy is comfortable. A dream is demanding. A fantasy asks nothing from you. A dream starts asking, what will you give up? What will you learn? What will you practice? What will you become consistent at? That's why the quote says, "Before your dreams can come true." It implies sequence. First, you allow the dream to exist. Then you let it reshape your behavior. Then, over time, it becomes true. People fail when they want the last part without the first part. They want a true dream without a real dream. They want results without the inner decision. Kalam's sentence is a gate. Reality doesn't begin when you win. Reality begins when you commit. The deepest power of a dream is not what it gives you. It's what it makes you. Once you truly dream, you start living with a different internal standard. You begin to feel friction when you waste time. You begin to feel discomfort when you stay around people who shrink you. You begin to notice that your habits are either feeding the dream or starving it. This is why dreaming is not escapism when done correctly. It's identity formation. and identity is what carries you when motivation disappears. Because motivation is a mood, but identity is a commitment. This quote hits harder when you remember who said it. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam wasn't a motivational speaker first. He was an aerospace scientist and a national leader, someone who spent decades inside complex, long timelines. He worked with India's defense and space organizations, and later served as the 11th president of India. He also helped shape a long-term technology vision for national development. Encyclopedia Britannica. So when he says, "You must dream," it's not romantic, it's operational. It means you need a vision strong enough to survive slow progress, a vision strong enough to survive criticism, a vision strong enough to survive the days when nothing seems to move. Dreaming is how you stay loyal to a future that isn't visible yet. In the US market, people are surrounded by a loud message: believe. But belief alone doesn't create reality. Belief needs structure. A dream becomes real when it's translated into standards. What you do daily, what you refuse, what you keep repeating even when no one claps. Most people don't need more hype. They need more alignment. Because when your schedule doesn't match your dream becomes a source of guilt. But when your schedule matches your dream becomes a source of energy. So, dream before is not poetry, it's strategy. Make the dream clear enough that your life can reorganize around it. Many people ask, when will my dream come true? But the deeper question is, when will I become the person who can hold it? Because big dreams don't just demand effort, they demand evolution. They demand emotional endurance, staying calm under uncertainty. They demand social courage, being seen trying. They demand humility, learning in public. They demand patience, living inside long timelines. So if you feel behind, that doesn't mean the dream is wrong. It may mean you're in the part where the dream is changing you first. That's the hidden promise inside Kalam's sentence. Dreams come true after you dream. Because dreaming begins rebuilding the person who will make them true. Let's hear it one last time. Slowly. You must dream before your dreams can come true. Meaning, before the world changes, you change. Before your results change, your standards change. Before your life looks different, your inner direction becomes non-negotiable. Dreaming is not a one-time event. It's a decision you renew, especially on the days when you have no proof. So keep the dream, not as a fantasy you visit, but as a direction you live. If this met you at the right time, share it with someone who needs their dream back, and comment, "The dream I'm choosing again is